Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Data Cloud Now. I'm currently in San Jose at NVIDIA's GTC, where I'm now delighted to be joined by Anupam, Datta, Principal AI Researcher at Snowflake. Anupam, such a pleasure to be with you here today.
Great to be here.
Anupam, let's start off on a personal level. You recently joined Snowflake, and additionally, Snowflake launched their AI research team. What have the takeaways been, and how does this commitment and collaboration position the AI Data Cloud for success in the years to come?
Yeah, so I was a professor at Carnegie Mellon University, where I taught for about 12 years, the last decade in the AI space. And based on the research we did there around AI evaluation, explainability, observability, that was the basis for the company called Truera that I founded. And it was a pleasure to join Snowflake last year to take that vision forward to build trustworthy AI, ensuring that systems behave in the way that we expect them to and provide reliable results. It has also been great to see those products get integrated into the Snowflake platform, but what's been even more exciting is to see the AI research effort come together, where we are focusing on some key initiatives to ensure that the AI Data Cloud provides an easy, efficient, and trusted way to build and deploy AI applications. In that context, I'll highlight three efforts. One around data agents, which is to ensure that these data agents can be built easily and provide immediate value to enterprise customers, the science behind that. Second is inference optimization, to ensure that these applications can be deployed while managing cost and latency very efficiently. And then the third effort is to ensure that these are trusted, they're high quality, and observability, of course, is an important part of that story.
Great perspective. Thank you for that, Anupam. The impact AI is having on big businesses to everyday citizens is nothing short of remarkable. From your seat, what steps are being taken by the business leaders in organizations who are leading the way versus the ones, say, being left behind?
That's a great question. I would say that the first is adopting some of this technology in the meaningful places in the organization. So what we are seeing, for example, is a bunch of workflows starting to get enriched with AI, higher degrees of automation, which is an excellent place for technologies like retrieval augmented generation for question answering over enterprise data corpus, as well as for agents, which make organizational workflows much more seamless. So I think that's one big area. The other is actually upskilling the workforce. We have seen efforts where people who traditionally used to work in machine learning have moved more towards, from predictive machine learning, expanding more towards generative AI, as well as other parts of the organization, such as marketing and so forth, getting sales, getting enriched with tools that can improve their productivity very significantly.
The excitement and buzz is all around us here at NVIDIA's GTC. What are the key takeaways and what AI use cases excite you most?
I think 2025 is the year of agents. There has just been a tremendous progress in that area where increasingly we are seeing agents getting uptake in enterprises. Data agents in particular, I think is going to become really big over the course of this year. These help with organizational workflows where, based on data, people can automate various steps, increase productivity in a wide range of areas, from making sales teams more effective, marketing teams more effective. Customer support is a big area as well. I think the other big area is going to be around making sure that all of this can be done at low cost, because these days, till last year, there was a lot of emphasis on prototyping and experimentation.
Right.
Now there is a much bigger emphasis on production deployments and where is the ROI from all this AI that's starting to get the investments in AI that are happening. And so in that context, it's important to have good technology in place to ensure that our LLM calls, the numerous LLM calls that agentic workflows and other kinds of AI use cases will make use of, are done in a way that doesn't break the bank. and the investment is appropriately returned in terms of productivity gains or powering new businesses.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned ROI, because in the time of enterprise AI, ROI in business value will ultimately lead the way. How should teams grapple with harnessing AI's true potential while managing the overall cost?
Yeah, maybe I can give you a little bit more on inference optimization and the back-end technology. From a distance, I think the right questions to ask are, if I'm investing X dollars in a certain set of AI applications, how is that translating into productivity gains, for example, which more than pay for and recover benefits, right? And in that context, one of the big challenges is calls to LLMs can get expensive when you're making lots and lots of calls. And so there's a whole body of work that's happening in our AI research lab and making its way into our products, which exactly address that problem. We recently have a result showing that through clever inference optimization, we can reduce the cost of using llama models by up to 75%, which is very material. And as you start measuring ROI, that's definitely one area to pay attention to. Do we have the best quality models? And can we cleverly optimize them so that inference costs can be brought down dramatically so that you have both quality and trust in the results, as well as doing so in a way that is not too expensive?
I'm so glad you mentioned trustworthiness, because it's very much top of mind across the board. What are the key challenges businesses face in ensuring AI security and overall trustworthiness?
That's a great question. So it's really a full stack problem, and it begins with data. With large enterprises, we often see that they care a lot about data governance, that the data stays within a trusted perimeter, ideally on one platform, that there's good role-based access control, ensuring that only the right set of people can access them. So data governance is the foundation for trust, but then it carries through from there into the AI systems that are powered by that data. So once you start going from there to the models, when you go to models, then there are questions of ensuring that these models are adhere to various safety considerations. So in consumer-facing applications, you don't want models to respond to questions that are pertaining to violence or criminal activity. There should also be content moderation in place, so you guard against toxicity, you guard against fairness and bias. So we have a good amount of effort there around guardrails for models, building on the work in the community. And then finally, when you go to the applications, depending on whether you're building retrieval augmented generation or agentic systems, there are interesting properties like you want the results coming out of these systems to be grounded in authoritative sources in order to avoid things like hallucinations, which is a big issue with applications built with generative AI. You want these systems to have nice traceability properties, relevance properties, meaning that when you're asking a question, the response should be relevant to the question that's being asked. So we have done an interesting body of work in that space, building what we call the RAG triad, which provides like three very interesting metrics for relevance and groundedness, which follow the structure of the application. Once you go to agents, there are additional challenges. With agents, you want to ensure that each step that the agent executes meets your expectations, but you also want to ensure that the control flow, because now an LLM is deciding based on your question what tools to call. You want to check that the right tools are being called with the right parameters in the right sequence, and that the final response is also truly answering the question or performing the action that is performed. So there's a whole host of work in this space that our labs are working on to ensure that RAGs and agents are trustworthy, that we can truly rely on them and have guardrails to ensure that.
And I realize that we've covered a lot, but before we wrap, what's next for Snowflake?
I think at Snowflake, we are always trying to look at what the next big thing is. A deeper presence in agentic workflows is definitely going to be one of our important vectors while managing cost and ensuring trust. We are increasingly looking also at some of the recent research results from DeepSeek R1, for example, showing that post-training is becoming reinforcement learning, and post-training is becoming much more of a lower cost effort than it used to be not too long ago. So that's another area. So I would say make agents easy, trusted, and efficient. And for that purpose, continue to develop techniques to improve models and build the foundation of trust in data and AI.
Anupam, such a pleasure having you on the program here today. And for the audience watching, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ryan Green with Data Cloud Now. We'll see you soon.